Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? Why am I wearing a NASA shirt? And why am I next to a plant? This is a real plant, by the way. See that? These are real leaves, alright? This is not a plastic one of those things, alright? This is real. This is real. As real as I am, alright? Alright, everyone. So, my computer died, It sucks, actually. I'm using my wife's computer. I use this for podcasts anyways, but I'm trying to basically install the software I need because my other computer, remember I bought that from Best Buy open box, it just died. What could you expect, sir? So I have to take it tomorrow to Best Buy because I have that, what do you call the Geek Squad membership? I'm just fucking wasting my time, That's what it is. Honestly, In any case, I don't want to sound too negative, but I I have wasted basically an hour and a half. I'm trying to download this software, the drafting software, and me and my wife ordered, a section of a sofa for our living room, and it came yesterday, and then I was trying to, both of us, we trying to set that up. I had my fucking computer on here, okay, and then it just started making some noise, weird fucking noises, the fan, and then it just died. I think it's either the fan that has died or the fucking, the hard drive is dead. Alright? One or the other. So, in any case, alright, everyone. Me and my wife actually came yesterday, day before, from Houston, Texas. Texas, where everything is big. We had a good time, we had some arguments, which is fine, alright, that's part of life, alright, and I'm sorry. But in general, I think the trip was nice, except that the weather was, for us, weather was warm, And, she bought this bunch of, t-shirts from Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center in Houston. Obviously, I love that. She loves that. I think she realized how big those rockets were, right? You realized those, right? I was like, holy shit! So this is what it takes. Remember, I did that podcast when I came back from Orlando. I went to Kennedy Space Center for the first time, and I saw those fucking biggest rockets. I'm like, holy shit! So we need something huge to leave the gravity of Earth in order to propel us into the lower orbit or upper orbit or wherever the fuck we want to go, means leave this planet. Alright? So that's what it takes. And that's why Elon Musk is building those, what do you call the biggest rockets? Falcon, whatever the fuck it is, right? Falcon 9. Alright? Yeah, that's what it takes. It's actually even bigger. I'm assuming that the actual physical size of the rockets and that those thrusters, I'm assuming, which were built like 50 years ago, right? More than 50 years ago. You don't need that much of a physical size, given the technology we have now, where you can squeeze everything, right? Compact. But it just opens your mouth and like, what is this? You look up those, right? Didn't you feel that? My wife is here. She's watching.
Yeah, I was
Sure.
amazed. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
Those
exactly
were
what happened.
huge.
Huh?
Those were huge thrusters.
And she started talking about God and how God has created us, and yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How God's creation is, you know, see,
How God's creation is creating these huge fucking rockets. I think that's what she's saying,
yeah.
right? So in any case, all right. And then we met some family friends. I caught up with one of my friends from college, and we were close. It was nice to see him and some other families, and etc. And my cousin, my first cousin, her family I saw, and my wife, she actually, both of us, we met for dinner at this Lebanese restaurant. We met her uncle, her aunt, and everybody's going through something in their lives, man. I don't want to discuss anything, but it's just like the grand scheme of things in life is that nobody's life is like a straight line, or without any problems, or without any issues, or without any, let's just say, also happiness. Yeah, some people get more happiness in their lives. Some people have to basically deal with shit, and etc., etc. Right? All this, in the grand scheme of things, is part of life. What makes us unique is that whatever happens, we have to basically just, after we trip, we have to get up and shake our clothes and move on with our lives. All right, if you have to apologize to someone, man, just say it. I'm so sorry. Okay, whatever, with loved ones. But what I'm saying, in also terms of people have to deal with health, and people have to deal with whatever in their lives, and I have no fucking idea what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, what the point I'm trying to make is that we have to somehow accept some things in life which may not be normal for, let's say, for a normal human being. All right. And sometimes I feel like, I just basically get angry. My 1 minute fucking anger is about what? Or just because my wife is late at 10 minutes. All right? And when I look at other people's problems, I'm not saying that, sometimes, I used to do things my own way, so that's also a problem, right? So I got to adjust my own lifestyle, all right? Years and years of therapy doesn't work on me. All right, everyone. So the point I'm trying to make is that all this is part of life, man. All this is fucking part of life. You just have to, keep some of your sanity together. And I think, again, I have to say this to myself. I'm just preaching to myself. I'm not preaching to another fucking choirs on this fucking planet, all right? Man, just be grateful, all right? Strive for the best, but also be grateful for what you have, all right? What I don't have, I can't do anything, all right? I'll try. Not saying I'm going to rob a bank or, rob a fucking whatever, right? If financial issues are, a big issue, like problems for me, or, or whatever, health issue. I mean, I'm okay for now, health-wise, I'm getting old, I'm not getting younger. And then we also met some of the some of the guys who actually moved here from New York to Texas, and it seems like everybody's actually happier down there. I'm not saying that. I was just there for a week. Not even a week, so a few days. Long weekend, Memorial Day. And we also went to Galveston, actually, We're trying to go to a fucking, based on my own, looking up fucking Reddit and all that, right? Because I actually wanted to avoid Galveston. I thought everybody was going to Galveston, so I wanted to go to fucking Sullivan Beach, right? Which according to like Reddit posts and all that fucking information from internet, right? Supposedly was quieter and cleaner maybe. And we went there, it was the fucking opposite. So you have to go through, right? What is that? La Porte? Where the hell it is, right? North, like southeast of Houston. And as you are closer, like within like few miles of the beach, and you see all these like oil refineries. Oh my fucking God. And my wife was already shaking her head, and I'm like, yeah, something's not right. And then the fucking water when we got there, right? It's like full of algae. It's like green. It's warm, and I'm like, we just went to see the water. I'm like, no, let's get the fuck out of here. There's so many people there. It's crowded. And then we basically drove down to Galveston, right? Along the shore, and, And Galveston was nice. And, my wife actually liked it. We just were there for like maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. 40 minutes, and then she went into water. I didn't have any fucking extra clothes or anything with me, but I mean she liked it. Swimming is good. Water was warm, really. In any case, so that's that was our trip in Houston, long weekend. And I had to say, I had to apologize to her once I get my fucking 1 minute anger. Let's go. And then what the fuck happens, all right? The fucking airline, United Air, changed our fucking flight. Without actually giving us some warning, at least like a day or a couple of days before, right? And then we go to the fucking airport and we're trying to, check in through the kiosk, right? And the machine is telling us, oh, your flight has left. Please speak to an attendant. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I had to call fucking Expedia. And, luckily, there was a flight like 4 hours, 5 hours after. But we basically just, spent time at the airport, and finally we got on the flight and we came home around like 1:30. And then guess what? This always something fucking happened with me. I'm just like cursed or jinxed when it comes to like air travel, air travel. I'm always jinxed because my friends laugh at me when I tell them, hey man, this is what happens, right? When we got there to Houston, right? Everything is smooth, everything is hunky and fucking dory, nothing is a problem. And we get there and all the carousels, all the fucking baggage carousel at the whole fucking airport are shut down. For what? Oh, there's lightning. And then we're waiting there, huh?
Oh my God.
And I know, and we're waiting there. They're not turning on the fucking carousels, right? And I got frustrated, and then I had to leave my wife there, and then I had to go pick up the fucking rental, right? And I'm basically running around outside the fucking, building, Terminal C building, waiting for that shuttle from the rental company, right? And it's nowhere to be found, and I'm running around. I'm trying to see if the luggage has come. I'm running around like a fucking headless chicken. All right. It's so frustrating, and I mean, my wife got frustrated too. But in any case, we got to the fucking hotel room late. All right, I don't want to basically turn my podcast into a Houston log, okay? All right. What? Besan, I didn't do anything, sorry. In any case, so that's the story, all right? So always something happens with me in the air travel. So I'm just cursed, man. That's all I can say. I'm fucking cursed. Jinxed, It's gotta be really hot, obviously, right? Like, it's not even June. Like, it comes to, let's say, end of June, July. Houston is, in the south of Houston, close to the shore, right? And obviously, I don't want to be there in summer. But, we might be going back there in winter. For what, sir? Well, I don't want to be up here in fucking winter. It's like 15 degrees and your ass is frozen. Your head is in some fucking, inside a fucking, ice cap. And you're miserable. It's fucking slush and fucking, snow. And it's like, oh my fucking God. And my bones are creaking from sciatica. All right? So 3 months, 4 months. I don't care. So we're going to be either in Houston or in Orlando. All right? Maybe this winter we'll be in Houston. Not Houston, sir, but Orlando. I want to put this up for rent, our apartment. And then we can get an Airbnb down there. All right? So there you go. There you go. All right? So, and then, when we left, the fucking weather up here was like cloudy and raining and cold. And when we come up here, even now, same shit. Yeah. So New York, New Jersey weather is still, like spring, not even spring. It's like gloomy and like depressing. Even this weekend, I was trying to, book a golf course. But it seems like nobody wants to play. Or I mean, I'm gonna go out. I mean, I told my wife I'm gonna go out to play golf at least like for nine holes. In any case, so all right. What else is going on, everyone? Well, golf, princess. I know she wants to just stay in. We gotta do few things. I think that window issue. I know she actually wants to minimize that sound, which is like an eternal curse for us. I think as long as we're in this apartment. Speaking of which, so now the problem is, hold on, everyone. Looks like this installation is complete. It's asking me to start the software. All right, let's start. All right, everyone. So I just wanted to do my brief podcast, my weekly, and I got to take a lot of deep breaths. I'm sorry, and put some discipline in place, and not be fucking angry just because we are 10 minutes late and angry at my wife. I can't do that. All right. Because when you're living alone, even if you're traveling alone, you are just like throwing shit into the bag. It's like, I don't care, let's just go. In any case, so sorry. And then after in the post 1 minute, my own fucking anger, I get depressed, obviously, right? So, all right, everyone. Without getting too much into self-psychotherapy session. Like my problems are really like when it comes to like interactions and all this, right? I mean, and in what I'm dealing with my life. I mean, yeah, I'm dealing with my life in financially, yeah, I have to deal with that fucking loan and all that, and then issue with my apartment, and how the HOA and the special assessment, all this shit actually went up and just fucked me over. And I have to, I have been talking to a lawyer, so let's see what happens. I don't want to disclose anything. It's confidential, all right? But let's see. And Knicks. Today is a game the Knicks are playing. I don't know what's. I mean, if they're going to win, that they're going to go into the finals. I think is that what it is? Because my friend, they were saying that Knicks game they were watching tonight. Knicks Pacers. 84. Our fourth quarter, and it's 84 versus 100. Knicks are winning. Wow, go Knicks! Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm not a big fan of basketball, but I guess, we have to support them. All right, everyone. So, what the hell is the software telling me? I'm sorry, I apologize. Hold on. Scholars, real associate drawings with blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, everyone. So that's my sort of like podcast and, my rant and self-therapy and whatever the fuck you call it. Just, it's not a therapy. I just talk shit, okay? And, nothing else is going on. June is going to be very, very quiet. And then July, I got some family coming up. My dad is coming. Possibly my brother is coming from Europe. So let's see. All right. It's going to be a reunion. Oh, June, I think my other sister is coming. All right, everyone. I presume you all are having a great week. And I'll see you all next week.